Okay, let's start with number 1. It says show 11:30 on the clock using a minute hand and hour hand. So we know a clock is at the top and 30 is dirty. So it is 11:30. And in 2 hours, what time will it be in 30 minutes? So the minute hand needs to go from the 6 to the 12. So it will be 12 o'clock. Okay, now let's look at the next one. It says Mrs. Daniels bought 28 water bottles for her class. She had 8 boys and 8 girls in her class. Are there more students or bottles? Well, the first thing we need to do is add the 8 boys and the 8 girls. So I know that 8 plus 8 equals 16 students. So there are 16 students and there are 28 water bottles. So are there more students or water bottles? There are more bottles. Okay, how many more water bottles? Well, I can count from 16 to 28. 16, I'm going to jump by 10, is 26, 27, 28, 1, 2. So we know that our answer is 10, 11, 12. Okay, now let's look at our next one. Okay, so it says, how many students have dogs? So I'm going to go to the dogs, and I know that 4 students have dogs. What kind of pet do most of the students have? Most of the students have a fish. How many students have a bird as a pet? So I need to find the birds, and I know there are 5. Well, I'm sorry, there are 4. How many more students have a cat than a turtle? So now I need to compare the turtles and the cats. These are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more students have a cat than a turtle. Now let's look at the next one. Mrs. Hopkins is playing doubles or raise. She picks these 2 cards, 8 and 6. So what is a double of 8? So I need to do 8 plus 8. And then I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I need to double it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to now do the same thing for the 6. I need to double the 6. And now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it says write an equation to represent the 8 doubles array. So I'm only looking at the 8. So I can do 2 plus 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 2 equals 16, or I could have done 8 plus 8 equals 16. Okay, now let's look at tonight's homework. So number 1 says, Mrs. Jasko asked her students what kind of ice cream was their favorite. This was her result. So you're going to make a graph, okay? So what I would do is I would make a bar graph, and you're going to set it up. This side is the numbers, and this side are the categories. So these would be the ice cream. So you can write vanilla, etc. Okay? Now, you have the number 17. What can you break 17 into? So what is the value of the digit in the ones place? So what is this number? And then what is the value of the digit in the tens place? So what is this number? And then is 17 odd or even? Okay, and then let's look at the last 2. It says Miss Roque collected data from a 5th grade class. How many books they read at home? What kind of graph did Miss Roque make? Remember, if it starts with an X, it's called a line what? How many students have 13 books at home? So remember, you need to find the 13 and count 1, 2. How many students did Miss Roque ask? Remember, the red, these are all the students, so you need to count the students. How many more students have 16 books than 19 books? So now you just need to look at the 16 and the 19. Here they're the same. How many more have 16? Then it wants you just to know how many books do you have at home. So this is not going to be from here. It's how many do you have at home. And our last one, Mrs. Shadrick has a dozen pens. Remember, a dozen is 12. She gives 9 girls in her class 1 each. How many pens does Miss Shadrick have left? Are we adding or subtracting? Show 2 different ways to find the answer. You may start tonight's homework now.